Episode 943 opens with a tense atmosphere at the execution ground. The battle between Zoro and Kiyoshiro is fierce, yet neither has yet proven superior. At this moment, the Oniwabanshu ninja squad under Orochi appears, forcing Kiyoshiro to retreat to avoid further disadvantage. These ninjas were sent to track Komurasaki's movements, but at that time, they were completely unaware that she was still alive. All clues were concealed so well that Orochi and his subordinates still believed Komurasaki was dead. In another direction, Law attempts to rescue his crewmates, but is unexpectedly stopped by Basil Hawkins. This man has linked his own life force to Law's crewmates, making attacking him tantamount to killing his own comrades. Cornered, Law is forced to stand still and endure the attack. After knocking out X-Drake with a few kicks, Sanji immediately rushed to rescue Komurasaki as she was being chased by two ninjas. However, at that moment, he witnessed Zoro tightly embracing Komurasaki, both looking incredibly close. Just seeing them was enough to enrage Sanji to the point of turning pale. Returning to Luffy, Kid, and Killer, they are now hanging upside down in the execution ground. The cruel rules are announced. Kid and Killer will be repeatedly submerged in water until Luffy and Hyogoro die, and if one survives, the other will continue to be tortured. Overwhelmed with rage, Luffy demanded to charge straight at Kaido to end it all quickly. But at that very moment, a real monster appeared. Big Mom had been brought to Udon, smashing things and screaming for the red bean soup she had been starving for a long time. Episode 944 begins after the death of Shimotsuki Yasui, plunging Wano into chaos. Kinman and Inuarashi reveal the truth. They were behind framing Ashura Doji for theft, causing Orochi to hunt down his territory. It all stems from a single purpose, to force Ashura to join the rebel alliance. With time running out, Kinman is forced to choose the most ruthless path. Seeing Kinman bowing an apology, Ashura finally leads them to a secret location. Meanwhile, at Udon Prison, the sturdy gates are no match for the starving monster outside. The smell of red bean soup permeates the air, and Big Mom completely ignores the guards, smashing through the gates to storm into the prison. Even Queen is unaware of who dares to trespass into his territory. Only when Big Mom shattered Gate 2 and stepped straight into the hellish arena did the soldiers fall silent, unable to understand why a Yonko had appeared there. Luffy, witnessing the scene, was also stunned. Smelling the red bean soup, he immediately called his crewmates to share. Chopper had only joked about it, but it turned out that Udon actually had that dish, making the situation even more tense. Realizing Big Mom intended to steal his favorite dish, Queen immediately revealed his true power. He possessed the Ruru Nomi model Brachiosaurus, an ancient Zoan that allowed him to transform into a complete Brachiosaurus or a hybrid form at will. But the problem was even more serious. Reizo had stolen the red bean soup from the previous night and given it all to Luffy to eat. If these two monsters found out the truth, no one dared imagine the consequences Luffy would face. Queen, enraged, charged straight at Big Mom and was immediately grabbed by the head and slammed to the ground. A cold voice rang out, revolving around a single question: if you don't deliver the red bean soup, don't expect to leave here unscathed. Episode 945 opens with Big Mom crushing an all-star like Queen with sheer brute force, proving that the title of Yonko Emperor is absolutely not something earned by chance. In her presence, even the so-called beast seems insignificant. Queen swings his tail and leaps up, roaring that he will never be defeated by such a weak attack. He leaps high into the air, vowing not to give Big Mom even a spoonful of red bean soup, then uses his entire weight and body mass to deliver a fatal blow. However, Big Mom easily blocks the attack with just two hands. This battle is like a clash between beasts, where the power disparity is brutally evident. In his frenzy of not being able to eat, Queen is nothing more than a toy. Big Mom grabbed his long neck, twisted it violently, and threw him straight to the ground, knocking Queen unconscious on the spot and forcing him to revert to his human form. Thanks to the chaos, Kid and Killer were also freed from being submerged. Caribou, after being freed by Reizo, immediately used his abilities to cut off all communication systems in the prison, as he knew every nook and cranny of the place after his long imprisonment. On Big Mom's side, she was extremely excited to find the pot of red bean soup. But the moment she opened the lid, everything was gone. Her rage immediately erupted, especially when Luffy casually exclaimed that the soup was really delicious, essentially confessing to the crime himself. In reality, Big Mom only wanted to share the soup with the poor people in Okobori town, but when she arrived and found nothing, it only made her anger spiral out of control. Big Mom's relentless attack unexpectedly knocked Luffy and Hyogoro off the ring, meaning their necklaces were about to detonate. In that life-or-death moment, unable to let Hyogoro die, Luffy instinctively channeled his haki into his hand and broke the necklace, saving both of them from certain death. As Big Mom prepared to attack again, Hyogoro asked Luffy to turn back and protect him. He staked his life and faith on the young man, urging Luffy to use his power again, for it was Riwo, the signature haki of Wano country. And that wraps up our recap for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share it to support the channel. Make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you won't miss the next episodes of the Wano arc recap. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.